life and you have perhaps raised children, launched them off to school, you have had successful business or been on a really beautiful corporate journey and nailed that down because you're amazing. Perhaps you are sitting in a space of a relationship with your partner that you're like, okay, we did all the things, like we did all the life, we checked the boxes and we got here, we went, who are you and how did you get here? Right? Okay. So, I mean, so many things. All of a sudden, things happen for your body that are different. So, in midlife, right, we can face different challenges and shifts in our life. And you know that you've done all those boxes, all those things. And perhaps right now you're sitting in a space and you go, what's next? What's next for me? A lot of your life you may have spent doing things that felt like they were for other people. And now you're like, I got some time back again, maybe. Maybe I want to slow down. Maybe I'm being called to do something different because what once used to light me up now is a complete drag. And so if this is you and any of those things apply, then hi, my name is Jen. I'm the founder and owner of Laughing Lotus Wellness. I'm a transformational purpose coach and expert. And what I do is work with women in middle age, just like you, just like me. So at 40, I was in a private practice that I had built from the ground up, loved it when I started and ended up hating it. And so this is a piece of my journey that I'm bringing to all of you because as I've aged, I have been finding that I'm tripping through some of these very same things I'm sharing with you. Like, wow, like I had one business, I loved it, I changed. My daughter had just left the house. So we are starting to move into a space of her launching into her adulthood. So there's all these pieces, right, that are shifting and changing. And so what I love to do, what my passion is working with women to help them create space for something new and better in their lives. Like it's just time to reorganize. And so what we do is we help you find not just success, but success and purpose, and success and purpose on your terms, right? You will define that differently. I define success and all those pieces so differently now that I'm in middle age than I did. So it's kind of really crazy to think about where I started and where I am now are two very, very different spaces. And so what we do is figure out where have you been, where you want to go, and how are we going to get there? Right? So then I combine my tools, my modalities. I've been a clinical social worker for over 20 years, and I'm certified in a whole boatload of healing modalities. And we put that all together like a choose your own adventure to help you get where you've got to go. And so that's what I love to do. My chair is sinking. There we go. So if you notice me going like up and down like an elevator during our time today, that's what's happening. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about, I thought my dog was horking. Sorry. I was like, sorry, everyone. Nope, he's fine. It's all's well. We're going to be talking about manifesting. This is the last week of the traditional month of content. And so I am going to be just wrapping that up with a neat little bow, hopefully. I did release a vlog this week on, hopefully, I don't know if it landed in Instagram or not. Instagram is picky and finicky and funny, and it takes like forever to load my stuff up. So who knows? Hopefully it's there. If it's not, it's on the other social medias that I am on. So talking about the recipe for manifesting. So if you're interested in that, you can go find that as well and check that out. It's always, always, always on my website as well. So you can always go catch up there really easily if you're looking for it. So I did want to wrap up, and then I'm going to share a little bit of insight and transformation I had this week because I think that's pertinent. So that's why I was like, and who knows what's going to come out of my face. So the first thing I'm going to wrap up with manifesting is this. So if you haven't been privy to this, I just started a Manifesting Abundance Masterclass in September. And so we're a few weeks in. I think we're like 3 weeks in. And the coolest thing ever is people are shifting and changing, which is so, so fun. So this is kind of the joy of my life, is watching people unfold into something powerful. And so people are practicing, some of them new journal kind of practices. They're practicing meditation for the first time on a regular basis. They're practicing like shifting mindset so that they can show up and have a different relationship and experience with manifesting abundance. And what is abundance? Because abundance isn't the same thing for everybody. Hi, Natalie. What's up? What's up, sister? And Natalie's in there with us. So they're sort of unfolding how to kind of step into abundance. And abundance means something different for everybody. Some of them, it's like clients. Some of it's money. Some of it is like, I would like a car. Some people were like, I would like a man. So we're in it for all the things. And I love that, right? Relationships, connection, whatever that is. And so it's really fun to kind of watch everyone take their journey. And in this space, we started off and everybody's like, this is so good. And we're doing all the joyous stuff and we're shifting our thinking. And did I just say that for you? Of course I did. What do you mean, Natalie? Wink, wink. And so what I want to talk about was, and lovingly, one of my clients came in this week and she was like, so I've been really good. I've been really positive. I've been feeling the things. Everything was going super good. And then a client said that they didn't want to re-up with me. God. And she's like, now I'm sitting in this space where I've now got to figure out what I'm going to do with it, right? Because now I've got new practices and tools. And so it's like, wait, what am I going to do with this? And this is what I would say, I think, is one of the hardest pieces of these kinds of journeys. And I know that from psychotherapy, people will come in and they have this idea, and this is human. This is not someone being silly, weird, like not intelligent. It's people come in and have an idea that when we're going to do a practice, a journey, and we're going to grow in some way, it's going to go like this. Awesome. Awesome. I'm going to do that again. Right. Only uphill from here. And the truth is that is the farthest thing from what's actually going to occur. And so I would tell people really early in therapy, put your seatbelts on and understand that you're going to go through different layers of work, and you're going to take 2 or 3 steps forward and you're going to take 1 or 2 steps back. Then you're going to go a little forward and then you're going to go back, right? And so I want people to understand that that's the journey that they're going to be in, because that's humanity. Okay. We're not all monks. We don't live on the edge of a mountain in wherever, the Himalayas. And all we do is create and manifest incredible energy and things like that that never have human pain in them. And even monks, of course, experience human pain, right? So we want to like give ourselves space to understand that we're stepping into something where these tools become really important, actually. And it isn't that your solution is going to be just living in this ultimate positive space from every single moment that you wake up to the moment you go to bed at night. That's not real. And rather, and she said, and this is so powerful, I'm letting myself feel the feels. Yep, that's what we do. We just honor what shows up. Now, here's the tip. So 1, don't expect any journey you take of healing, any one of them, I don't care what lane it's in, it's not going to look like this. It's going to look like this, like a really good roller coaster. And just prepare yourself. Like, that's so normal. Give yourself the space to have it be imperfect. Also understand, here's tip 2. So this is going to go spiritual, and that's okay. The universe or God, source, goddess, God, whatever, Jesus, whatever your cup of tea is only going to hand you what is the best and highest good for yourself and everyone around you. Let me say it one more time. God, source, et cetera, is only going to hand you what is for the best and highest good of everyone. Okay. So if you're out there and you're like, I want a big condo on the, I was going to say on the Florida coast, on the California coast. Right. And it doesn't come to fruition. That's not what was best for you or the other people around you. Period. Done. That's it. That's all. Game over. Okay. And so one of the things is that if we get in our heads and we're kind of in a place where it really isn't going to benefit the world in some way, it ain't going to happen. So for this woman that was like, hey, I had to be in the feels about this client didn't re-up. That sucks. It is a crappy feeling. It is so normal for us to go, oh my God, was it something I did or didn't do? How am I going to fix this? What does this mean about me? What does this mean about my journey? I can do that. I can spin wheels, and we all do it. We've all been there. I'm just making sure Natalie didn't say something else. We have all been there and done this. And the reality is that very often you're being a gift you don't see. You're being given a gift you don't see. And that comes down to trust and faith, which is a very big thing to bite off. And so a lot of what I'm going to be encouraging my people in my community to do is to be able to sit in that. Can I trust that whatever is coming in or flowing out of my life is actually, in fact, for the best and highest good, even when I can't see it yet? Perhaps that person is not there to make room for someone else. And I think that might have been Natalie that said that. Wink, wink. Thanks, Natalie. Great save. So that's what we're getting at. We're getting at shifting our mindsets that even when things don't go the way we think we'd like, we can observe and honor that there is something behind the scenes happening that is actually for us and for our highest good. That's a big leap for some people. I don't even know. We'll see how 40 days does for people because we're going to be doing this journey for 40 days. But that is a big leap. It's a big stretch to start really diving into a space of trusting something is happening for us behind the scenes. And yesterday I talked about the energy work that I was doing for people, and I was sharing a little bit of a tour because I don't talk about it all the time. Energy work isn't something that everyone knows about or understands. And so I don't get on here and blah, 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 because some of you be like, what the hell's that? And that's okay. So yesterday I took a little studio tour. I walked you through. I talked a little bit like what a session might look like. Because again, it's the stuff that you don't necessarily see. There's all kinds of things going on around behind the scenes for us in our lives, right? How many things do you do that no one ever gets to witness? How much work do you put into your business or your career that no one ever sees or pats you on the back for? How about being a parent? Anyone ever do shit for your kids that you're like, oh, no one's ever going to pat me on the back for that because they don't see it? Same goes for this reciprocity with the universe. There is always stuff happening behind the scenes for you. And it is absolutely for your best and highest good. And so when a client comes in, doesn't come in, when work comes in, doesn't come in. I'm going to share a recent uncover for myself, which was, I was talking to one of my business coaches and she's like, Jen, I don't know how you don't have 9 million clients. It's so funny. And she's the best. She's such a good supporter. Wait till you listen to my message today. Natalie and I voice memo on the regular. It's my favorite. And she was like, so here's what it is. I realized that I was missing a component of what I was saying. So it isn't that I don't have clients. I don't have them coming on my ears. That's okay. But because I have like 9 million things going on, but still, right? She was like, she's like, I just don't, I'm like, oh, I get it, because I was missing a piece of the story. Someone out there needed to hear the messaging. I'm going to be shifting in a way to receive what I have to offer. Thank you, universe. I can be pissed. I can be like, right? I mean, I can like, right? Okay. Or I can go, oh, that makes sense. I got it. And that lands perfectly great for me. Like, I know when it lands perfectly right, and I'm like, like a little piece of puzzle, just right. There we go. There we go. So this is why I want to say that even in my work, sometimes I will feel like I'm not, it's like I'm right, but it's not quite right. And what's the little adjustment? What's the little micro adjustment that I need? And we all have them. And so now that it's locked in, I'm like, aha, incoming, right? So good. So now I feel like I am in full alignment. I was like in alignment, and I'm like, oh, I just needed to just move over just a little hair to really dive into a place that I think I belong. Amazing. So I just want to say that I think that it's really important that we understand to give space, and to understand that even in the practice of manifesting abundance or having a more spiritual life, there's nothing that you've never heard me say, your life will be easy now. Ever. I pride myself on not bullshitting my clients, because you will stop believing me and you will stop trusting me. And so when a client has a moment like that, and we can come in, and for that client that was like, oh, I was so bummed this client didn't re-up, we can come in and say, oh, sister, that made space. That was for your best and highest good. For yours, hers, whatever it may be, both, it doesn't matter. That wasn't the right fit at this right time, right? So cool. And so I really, really, really want you to take that in, because I think it's so important to understand that that is really a serious piece of your journey as a human being is going to be. Okay. And trusting that it is only going to show up when it is the best and highest good for every single person involved. It's going to raise the vibration, the goodness in the world in a different way. And those things have to be in place. And so then we just, again, learn to balance. Okay. All right. So if I wanted this one job, I wanted this one business to come in and sign on with me, I wanted this one experience opportunity, and it doesn't come in, then it isn't for you. It isn't for you. One more time. It isn't for you, or it isn't for the other party. And we go, okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. This is hard. This is hard. I'll sit in the fields. I get that. And all is well. all is well, right? What did Natalie say? Wait till you listen to my message today. Oh, I thought there was something else. Sorry, Natalie. I'm just going to keep repeating the messages from Natalie over and over again. Sorry, everyone. I want to share one last thing. So I went on a retreat last week, and a divine feminine retreat with my dear friend Laurel Houston. And I'm going to tell you, I will say, this is going to sound so exaggerated, but it's okay. It's okay. If you don't get me, you don't get me. It was absolutely, I left to go there in one person, right? This retreat was in Southern Utah, which is one of my soul homes anyway. Traveled all the way there, one person, thousands of miles, to find things I didn't even know I was missing. To fly back home on planes, a different human. And it was some of the most powerful experience I've had, like, in a very, very, very long time. And I knew it was going to be great. Like, I knew it was going to be great. I didn't know it was going to be life-changing. And so many connections and shifts happened while I was there. And so I come home and I feel like there's like beams shooting out my face. I was a little worried I was going to be like not tucked in today when I talked to you all. And it would be like, ah! And you would all feel like I like hazmated all of this like incredible energy all over you. And it was intimate. It was developing an awareness of sisterhood, of myself, of understanding the connection between the spark of who you are in femininity and the power that resides in your sensuality that isn't just sexual. So before someone went, really, really cool connections. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it would take me, I mean, it literally took me, I shared it with my membership this week, and I think it took me like an hour to tell the story. Like, I'm actually not kidding, like told the story. And so this really neat interaction happened. And I want to share this as well, because this is where I wanted to, another piece of what I wanted to get at. I came back more honest. And I have always been honest. I have been honest with cushion. In psychotherapy, you figure out how to say really hard shit to people in a really nice way, or you won't have a job. That's part of your work, right? And 99% of the time, someone that's working with you knows that you would never say something that's right. I mean, that was probably my saving grace, was people trusted me, but they knew I would never say something to hurt them, just intentionally toss something out there. That's not who I am. But I think I've taken it, and I think I've really and I've been working on this in my energy work. So if my energy healer's listening, she's like, I can't wait to talk to her today. Because I've I get to do that with her. I get to like full on, right? And so I've couched a lot. And I think I came home and I was like, I think I'm done doing that. At least inspired to do less of it. And so I had this really sweet interaction. I was telling the story about my journey in the membership. And one of the women was really quiet for like a long time. And then I checked in with everybody, like, how is everyone doing? Anyone have questions? Anything you want to chat about? And one of the women goes, whew, that was a lot. Whew, that was a lot. And I said, it is a lot. It is a lot. And they can tell, I mean, I'm crying, it was like the most not cute thing on the planet. But she was like, that was a lot. And I'm like, it was. So later she calls me and she goes, I just wanted to call you and say, I'm really sorry if I rained on your parade. And I was like, okay, first of all, and I love this. So these are things that growth. I just want you to I'm just sharing some of my growth, right? First of all, I said, thank you so much for even thinking of calling me. If I was concerned, I would let you know. Oh, good, she said. And I knew she meant it. Oh, good. She was like, I felt like maybe I took the wind out of your sails. And I lean in and I go, love, there is nothing that you could do to rain on my parade. That is how powerful this experience was. I don't care what anybody would say to me. It can't change the joy and transformation that came out of that journey. There is no taking it back. I don't feel bad if you don't get it. I care. I care about this person. I don't care if you don't get my journey. That's okay. My journey is for me. I'm only hoping, and this is what I said, to inspire all of you to go be brave and do something that puts you outside your comfort zone. that every single one of you deserves sisterhood like what I flew thousands of miles away to find. Your journey won't look like Divine Sexy Self journey, maybe. Maybe it's in Sedona and it's on the top of a beautiful landscape and you're in meditation and gentle yoga and breath work. It doesn't have to look the same way mine did. Mine is a pretty, story. And so I was able to say that to her and sit with her in honesty. And it reminds me of all the things as a woman I wish we learned how to do more effectively. Like, stop apologizing. Stop apologizing for every single ever loving effing thing. Stop apologizing. You are allowed to be who you are and stop apologizing for taking up space or being who you are or being how you are. You get to stop doing that. Now, if you make an error, by all means, say, I'm sorry, right? That's not what I'm talking about. But this was a really powerful interaction between my client and myself, where I could say, I am with you. I hear you. I feel you. I am not at all upset with you. And if I were, it would be my responsibility to get with you and say so. Oh, good, she said. How refreshing that she doesn't have to take care of me and be in her head and be anxious and whatever. And I was able to lovingly be like, you can rain on my parade if you wanted to. And so I really want to empower women to get outside their comfort zones, to do brave and scary shit, to take a risk, to understand that on the other side of that, this was universal abundance. This was manifested in a way that I probably didn't even know I was manifesting until I got there and came home. Crying on the airport, watching the Utah landscape slide away. And I'm in the window like this. I'm like the Kermit the Frog. Did you ever see the one where the like rain sliding down the glass? That was me, only the rain was my eyeballs. And I'm like staring out lovingly at the landscape, feeling like I'm leaving a part of my soul in this state. And wow, sad as that is a little bit, how beautiful is that? Oh my God, you know you've done something magical when you feel like you left a part of yourself there in the people that are still there. Holy shit. That is so cool to me. I couldn't regret a single piece of that. And I really think that a piece of what I walked away with was being in touch with my femininity and giving myself permission to really be in all my power. And to understand that I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that's totally okay. And like, if I'm not your cup of tea, you can like delete, you can hit the X. I totally respect that. To stop couching everything. Because sometimes I think we just do really need the raw, hard truth of things and not just the one that people are like, I just want to be really nice so that you don't have bad feelings. Have you been there? Are you that person? In midlife, I want to do things differently. In midlife, I want to start to shed the bullshit I've been carrying around my whole life. The conditioning, the messaging, the stories. This is what I work with women to do. And I'm no different. I want the very same things. I don't want to be carrying around the dark cloud of the stuff. And spending time with a bunch of women doing that, elevating themselves in that kind of vibration, standing in their power, seeing women do really brave things, lights up my effing world. They inspired me. And so in talking to my membership about it, I shared the entire raw journey. I didn't limit anything. I just blah, 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 blah. And I will tell you this. It was the first time in my life, sincerely, that as I was flying away, I thought I might have to move. I might have to move. And that's really, that says something. If you know me, that says something. And so it was a big aha for me in like 9 million ways, all of which I'm not going to be able to share in this live. But I wanted to drop that here because I am committing outwardly the same way that I ask my clients to standing in a different space. And to stop being afraid that I'm going to crack a joke. I played a video this week. It's so cringy. I started in my healer's watching it. She was like, "Oh my God, was this post your retreat?" I was like, "No, actually, it must have been channeling the energy before I ever even got off the ground and left." I got in there and and I'm telling a story. I'm talking about the recipe for manifesting, right? And I start talking about a cake, and pretty soon I'm in it, and I'm like, I might be offending someone who is gluten-free. And then I say something, I'm like, oh my God, I might be offending a vegan. I actually mean it. I'm like in it, and I'm talking, and I'm like wording, and I'm like, oh my God, should I post it? Because I don't want to offend anybody. And I'm like, are you serious? Post the effing video. If someone really thinks I'm out there like, ha, 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 you've got a gluten intolerance, you're probably not my people. Because you don't know me then. Right? But I was like, what am I doing? That's the couching. It's the, oh my God, I'm afraid of what someone will think. Okay, well, I'm really sorry. So I said, it's a cringy video. It is, it's hilarious. And I was like, send it to my husband. I'm like, oh my God, is this really bad? He's like, no. He's like, no. He's like, you're clearly saying like, oh, I just had this realization. I'm talking to him. Oh, I just had a realization here. And yes, I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing at the people that have intolerance. I'm laughing as I'm talking through it out loud, what's in my head. It's hilarious and it's cringy and it's funny and it's authentic. So I was like, I'm not freaking recording another video because I may have said something that I'm like, no. That's couching. That's the same shit I've done my whole effing life. I'm not doing that anymore. So just know if I offend, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend. And also, it's sad to me if someone doesn't know me well enough to know that. And that's okay. And like I said, then, like, namaste. Bless and release. Bless and release. That's okay. Right? That's okay. So I just want to share some really big takeaways. This was a little bit longer than I intended to go because I know that you all have things to do and I have things to do. But I did really want to grasp onto the energy that is still brewing from this incredible transformation that I had and this incredible journey. And I could not thank Laurel with enough words on the planet for that experience, for who she is. She is a beautiful colleague and friend of mine, and she is just spectacular. And this was very inspirational because I want to host retreats, and I'm like, okay, now I know what I'm going for. Now I know what I'm going for, right? Because now I've had the experience. I'm like, oh, I want every woman to have the experience that I had, even if it looks different, even if it's at a different kind of retreat, even if it's never in my retreat. I want a woman to have this experience. And so I'm so thankful. I have so much gratitude this week. I've sent so many messages and so many just like, I just want you to know I'm thinking about you. Like, thank you so much for our connection. And honestly, it's the first time, and this is one last takeaway, and then I promise I'll close. I think one of the most powerful things I took away from this journey was I left it. And you know, and you're full men out there, let me know if you experienced this ever. Maybe you don't. People go to events and they mean well. And they meet and they're like, oh my God, we'll have to stay in touch. How often do they actually stay in touch? How often do you go and let a woman or person really see who you are? Like all the BS layers off, all the, right, just who you are, the funky, sassy, swearing. I was with some pretty religious people, and I'm just going to tell you what, I swear a lot. I swear a lot. But I decided I was going to go and be who I was. I was like, I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm just going to be who I am. And they can just pray for me if they think that I'm a sinner, and that's okay. Actually, they were all delightful. Honestly, I didn't feel anyone like, they still may have prayed for me, but I'll take it. But I was like, I'm going to go and just be 100% myself. Right. And so what I really felt was really, really seen. I didn't leave the couch around me. I was like, okay, if I'm really going to do this, if I'm going to take this opportunity and someone gifts it to me, I'm going to take all that off and set it here. Because you're being given a divine gift, which was what it was. And as these women are like, I want to stay in touch, I actually believe them. I think it's the first time in my life. And now I've met other women that did mean it. And I mean that. As a whole, though, as a collective, no, I don't think so. This was a really big life-altering sort of experience. And I was like, I actually believe them. I actually believe that these women intend to stay in touch, that they felt like we actually created a friendship. I can't think of another time. I can't right now. Maybe one would come to me. I cannot think of a time I felt that way. Authentically, that a woman was like, you're my sister. And friendship is different than sisterhood. And that's a whole nother conversation. And maybe I'll have it someday. But I also came away knowing the difference. That's a huge transformation for me. I mean, I'm speaking to me. I know every woman had a good experience, every woman, because every woman was leaving, crying, hugging, thanking, right? Taking information to stay in touch. So all of that, so effing good, so good. But I just want to say that to me, if I'm looking out over Utah and I'm like, I might have to move here, that's so compelling to me. And it says so much to me. Like every single person from the minute I got there to the minute I left was like some of the nicest people I've ever met my entire life. Like literally not an exaggeration. And I know I have a flair for the drama. I am not exaggerating in this at all. The guy at Starbucks was literally like, I finally picked out what I wanted to eat and I spent like 4 hours there. I was killing time before I could get to the facility for the event. And the guy says, "Nice to meet you." This is me. I was like, oh, he's talking to me. He's talking to me at the Starbucks. I was like, okay, I might need to move here. I don't know. I'm just telling you, it was a grandly transformative, spiritual, and incredible experience. And days later, I am still pulling it all together. I'm still pulling it in. I'm still understanding it. I am just so here for this change. I am so here for this change. I'm so ready to stand in that power. I already thought I was doing it, and I connected with something in myself on this journey that I just want to make sure I preserve that. I want to make sure I preserve that part of my soul because I worked effing hard to get that. And I was given a gift to connect with it in that space, and I did. And I want that for every single fucking woman. I'm gonna be real clear. I want every single woman to have the same experience that I did in some capacity. And really what I wish is that was happening for them when they were like 19 and 20. Now, would I have experienced it the same way at 19 or 20? Probably not. But would it have started my journey in a different way? Absolutely. So I really want this for every woman. And if you're listening to me, I hope to inspire you to be brave and go try something that is right. Maybe you kind of go gulp. I'm not sure I can do that. And then try anyway. And if you get there and go, I can't do it, don't do it. Good retreat guides are going to trust you and respect you, right? No one's going to push you to do something you don't want to do. And if they do, not ethical. Any guide of a spiritual kind, whether it is coaching or a healer or a retreat guide or whatever, our job is to hold space for you and respect and honor your boundaries. That's what happened in this event. Even though some really bold things went down in this event as experiences that were really cool. So people could choose to do boudoir shots or headshots. They could choose to do what kind of photos they wanted. It was really cool. And there was no pressure, like none. Every woman did what she felt best in her body, in her journey. That's really cool to me. Really cool. It was done so artfully. So again, I came away so inspired as a woman, as a guide, right? As a retreat holder. I was like, okay, check, check, check. I'm here for that. And so I'm deeply grateful. And so I hope that Laurel ever gets a chance to even listen to 3 minutes of this. Partway towards the end, I'll be like, fast forward, so she can hear. I wish I could put it all in a video, but I'm not going to, because I know it also makes some people uncomfortable, which is why I share it in places that are really like my space. If anyone wants to hear more, please reach out to me and let me know. I'm happy to tell you more about it because it's really profound. But I didn't want to make people uncomfortable. So I was like, well, we'll share the pieces and the takeaways that I feel are really safe and okay. So listen, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever been somewhere in a community where you felt really seen and heard and respected and loved and empowered to be who you are? Have you been in a community with people that you actually felt like when they said they wanted to like stay in touch and be friends, like they meant it? I really want you to be inspired to step into spaces that hold you up and raise your vibration in the world, right? That's what I work in. I work in energy. I know I talk a lot about mindset and all the things that make people comfy because it's safe to speak into that. But I want something much bigger for you in your life, like what I was able to experience. And I hope to be able to provide that to other women. That is what I feel like my purpose is. And so I just want to inspire that. And I want you to feel free to comment, question, if you have a question, if you have a thought, if something that I said was something that landed for you, I would love to hear about that. And if you're ever interested in more of this kind of content, please feel free to head over to laughinglotuswellness.com. Again, it's laughinglotuswellness.com. And right there, you can subscribe and hang out with my community. And or you can go check out my purpose tools, because that's where I house all my videos and vlogs. So if you want to go in and kind of tap into certain areas that I've taught in, you're welcome to go grab those. They're right there, super, super easy to take a watch. But I just want to kind of throw out to you today as we wrap up the month of manifesting. It has been so freaking powerful. And this was part of it, right? So I love that I was doing this manifesting abundance thing, and then I landed in this incredible transformative thing that I was not like planning here in my brain, but was delivered to me on a platter. And that's how I think it works, because it was the best for my highest good and the best for the good of the world. All the things I'm sharing about, which I think are so powerful. And so I just wish that for all of you. Okay, let me just go down here. I ain't getting rid of me. Natalie, I hope I don't get rid of you, because I love you. Oh, I love you. Thanks, Chantal. Some people, I'm in awe like you, but not all. Yeah. Also, I have at Isogenic events. Yeah, I've been to. So see, so good. Sorry, guys. My Instagram's behind my computer, so I have to so sorry if I'm all up and you get to see my neck. Yeah, so you know that, Natalie, right? This is what I'm getting at, is that if you've been somewhere, please tell me where it was, right? We want to give other women ideas on places that they can land and have these experiences. So let's empower each other to be doing this, right? Doing more of this. We need more of this. We need more of this. We need more of this. For sure. So thank you so much for listening in today. We're going to be moving into the month of change in October, which I'm super excited about. So what it really is very intentional. We moved from the month of abundance into how to manifest said abundance. And now we're moving into a state of change. And so we're going to be talking next month, all month, about change, which I'm super excited about. It feels really juicy and perfect timing for coming back from this really transformative retreat and having this incredible experience and kind of feeling like an unfolding and unraveling happening, which my healer will love to hear. And I look forward to being in touch with you. And so I hope you'll come back next week and plug in as we talk about change and get moving in that direction. But for now, I send you blessings, love, and healing light from me to you to support you to rise on your path of purpose. Take care, everybody.